welcome back to another exciting episode of 7 Studio Ave. I am joined by 3 other hosts today. Want to introduce yourselves?
What's up, guys? It's Jalen.
What's up? It's Sam.
I'm your paleontologist, Joey Carr.
Alright, so, a lot of exciting topics to cover today. Samuel is apparently dying. Also, some video game news, and the main topic for this week will be Deadpool 2. 75% of us have seen it, one of us has not. We'll let you decide. Alright, so,
Alright, let's start with some video game news. Battle Royale gaming scene is getting bigger, of course, and Fortnite is moving into competitive. They released something called Solo Showdown, I believe. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
This week. Next week, they'll be releasing a more refined version of the competitive. I remember when I first found out about it, I wasn't that happy because the only people who can get rewards are like the top 100 people in the world.
There's essentially there's no incentive to play it. It's basically just another solo mode.
Unless you want more of a challenge.
That's not true though, because the same people playing solo are also playing the competitive mode. It's not. It doesn't explicitly say that it's a competitive mode.
They need to make the rewards a little more attainable.
I believe the first place reward is 50,000 V-Bucks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And we all know the only people actually getting in the top 100 are people that literally play the game for a living or streamers.
Yeah, Ninja can have those V-Bucks. I don't want them.
I mean, I like the idea of getting V-Bucks, but also if I were to win, I'd personally want exclusive gear. Like not V-Bucks. I'd rather have exclusive gear.
Yeah, you can show it off more.
Exactly. So speaking of battle royales, we recently got news that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 they're not going to have a story, right?
No campaign.
No story, no campaign, and they're just going to have a Battle Royale game mode with vehicles and gear and all that. I'm interested to see how this goes. I think it could either be really good or really bad. I remember I thought... So, Fortnite, I love Fortnite, and it has a very cartoony, style to its animation, which is nice and refreshing. I like the differences. But I would like to see a more, realistic, gritty battle royale, similar to PUBG. Yeah, but I don't play PC, so I mean, I want a console game that has that.
My problem is the whole battle royale genre. It's like seeping into pretty much everything now. We've the developers have said, "Oh yeah, we've been working on this for a while now," and we know that's not true. The only reason Black Ops 4 has a Battle Royale mode is because of its recent popularity, and them taking out a campaign for a Battle Royale doesn't really sit well with me, especially because the Black Ops series is kind of known for its good campaigns and its multiplayer, and basically taking out the campaign, it's like, why even call it Black Ops 4?
It's like your favorite YouTubers. One of them is playing Destiny 2, you're enjoying their content, but all of a sudden they switch over to Battle Royale, and that's the only thing they play.
Hopping on trends,
This conversation reminds me back when games were first starting to be massive, not massive multiplayer online, but there was a debate over whether a lot of first-person shooters were just starting to take out stories and only focus on multiplayer, and I know a lot of people thought the campaign was just going to start dying. It hasn't, actually.
God of War just completely blew that whole idea out of the window anyway.
Yeah, there's plenty of games that have campaign, but I think when something is popular, people think it's going to be, see this as the direction it's moving in, and that nothing else that it will overpower everything else. But I like seeing Battle Royale, I like having people mess around with the idea, so we'll see how it goes from here.
I believe the new mode in Black Ops is going to be called Blackout.
Yeah, I think that's
the Battle Royale is the name for the Battle Royale.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Is Black Ops gonna be futuristic, modern?
Well, it is boots on the ground gameplay, but it does have that whole
All right.
It has kind of the feel of Black Ops 3, where there's not a lot of vertical movement, but they're bringing back the subclass system, kind of like Rainbow Six Siege, where you choose a certain class and you have certain abilities. And one of the abilities of the Jackhammer class, that's just what I'm gonna call it because I don't actually know its name. is like they have a grappling hook that they can like grapple onto people and pull up. So there is like still some vertical movement, but it is like mostly boots on the ground gameplay.
I haven't bought a Call of Duty game in a while, so
Same.
I'm really hoping that this game will make me want to actually buy a Call of Duty game.
I don't know if it'll get me to be honest. We'll see. We'll see. All right. On other video game news, mobile gaming, in fact, Dragon Ball Legends was recently released on Android devices. I'm very jealous because I have an iPhone, so.
And it's kind of funny actually. Usually when games like this are released, they always come out on Apple first because there's almost always a bigger base on Apple devices. But you know, it's kind of good to see them getting a little justice.
It's fun. I like it. I play it. I have Super Saiyan Goku already. It's fun. I don't watch Dragon Ball, but it's fun.
For a while, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle was what was popular as for mobile gaming in terms of Dragon Ball. But I think this one's gonna definitely shine more than that one. The graphics are pretty nice for a mobile game, I would say, and the gameplay looks cool. I played it on my friend's phone for like 2 minutes, and I fell in love with it already. The new character, Shallot, I believe is how you say his name.
Yeah.
He looks really cool. I would be interested to see him in a show or a movie.
The tail creeps me out, but you know, I don't.
You can tell he's not a real Dragon Ball fan.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Dragon Ball, we got news that a new Dragon Ball anime will be premiering. I think like a test episode this summer in July, I believe. It's called Super Dragon Ball Heroes Universe Mission. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know if
More
Universe.
ridiculous.
I don't know if Universe Mission is like the story arc specifically, and the show is just Super Dragon Ball Heroes.
They're just spinning a wheel to see how many words they can get.
Yeah.
Hey Jeffrey, you see the new episode of Super Dragon Ball Super Ultra Mission Hero?
I'm not sure how this will go. I know that it's based off of the video game Dragon Ball Heroes. And for those of you that don't know about this game, it kind of is like a fan fiction in some ways, and that anything is canon, and that they just mess around with like a lot of ideas.
When everything is canon, is anything really canon?
Yeah, so like you'll have like for the Dragon Ball fans out there, you'll have like a scenario like Gotenks Super Saiyan 4, which is just unheard of in the show. So that will be interesting. I think the show will be fun. I don't know how good the story will be. It could be good. We'll see. And I assume, considering that I saw the cover for it has Super Saiyan 4 in it, I assume it's non-canon. But
you say it's like a fan fiction, so I'd set your expectations very low.
that's what I am. I'm just looking to enjoy more Dragon Ball content.
All right.
Next, I want to talk about. Actually, before that, make sure to follow us at Twitter on Twitter at 7studioav, and visit our website at 7studioav.weebly.com. Subscribe to our mailing list on the website. Also, check out our Patreon page and follow us on Instagram at 7studioav. So next, I want to talk about something that Jeffrey actually sent me about something called Alfred Prequel. So I don't know if that's the actual name, but
So yeah, so there's the show on, I think it's Fox or is it NBC? Whatever. It's Gotham. So it's basically it's a Batman prequel where everyone gets an origin. Fox. Thank you. So yeah, and they're gonna make an Alfred prequel. Alfred, Bruce Wayne's butler.
Because you know, apparently everyone needs a origin
backstory.
story. So
and I haven't watched the
I
show.
think it's
in,
only
like,
going to be like 10 episodes, I believe.
are there any like photos where like the show's just been announced as far
I think
as
it's
we
like
know?
just been announced.
Oh, well.
I know I haven't watched the show in years, but I know like an aspect of that version of Alfred was he's like ex-military. So
Oh, I just found it's called Pennyworth. So.
Pennyworth. I'm quaking in my boots.
Yeah, Alfred is a tough guy. I mean, in the comics he's saved Batman plenty of times.
I just thought of in the Teen Titans Go movie trailer.
Yeah.
There's a joke about Alfred getting his own movie, and this is what's actually happening.
You see, they're becoming self-aware.
They're becoming almost too self-aware. Some would say.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about the Teen Titans Go movie?
Honestly, I hate to say this, but it might end up being the best DC film so far.
Oh,
And
that's
Well, I personally was someone who did not like Teen Titans Go when it first came out, and then it grew on me. I think a lot of people compare it to the original Teen Titans. Well, I think it's just something you should look at it as its own entity. And I actually really like the show. I think it's funny. I think it's fun. Some of the references are nice. So
some of my friends actually, I won't name names, but you know who you are, gave me crap for actually enjoying the Teen Titans Go movie trailer more than the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer.
oh no.
So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
See, I don't hate it, Teen Titans Go, but I think some of the jokes and I like the references, but I think some of the jokes are just bad.
It's not an inherently bad show. The problem with it is that on Cartoon Network, the show just takes up 90% of the blocks. So like no other shows are getting shown at like prime time. Like there's plenty of shows on Cartoon Network that people like, We Bare Bears, Clarence, and they just don't get like the showtime. It's all Teen Titans Go.
I just want to watch Gumball, man. Like that's
Yeah.
my favorite show.
I want to talk about some Arrowverse news.
Yes, so there's recently some news that in December, I believe, there's going to be a crossover event, as they usually do each season of the Arrowverse shows, and Batwoman will be appearing. And for those of you that don't know, Batwoman is different from Batgirl. She's actually the character Kate Kane, I believe, and yeah, she's. I don't really know a ton of details around.
I know
her.
absolutely nothing about her.
I remember her being in a movie recently, like an animated movie, but I don't know a ton about her. I know her costume is black and like reddish orange. She's a cool character. That'll be interesting because they've referenced Batman several times, and they also said that Gotham City will be in the Arrowverse now, so that'd be interesting. I always knew that they kind of tried to stay away from characters like Batman and even Superman for a little bit. Just because they're so notorious and they already have movies on them, to have a show version of them is kind of tough without diminishing their importance and value among fans.
I'm not so sure how I feel about this because it feels like they're just digging into characters they can use other than Batman.
That's true.
Seems like
That's probably true.
And I know that there's like all this logistical stuff for why they can't use these characters because they have movies on the way. That's why on Gotham, there's this one character who is the Joker. Like, he's literally the Joker. Every aspect of his character lines up with the Joker. They just can't call him that because of, like, the Suicide Squad movie and the Joker in the DCEU already existing. So, even if something in the TV show is better than what's going on in the movies will take precedent.
Well, I mean, the TV side of the DC universe has actually been doing fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Arrow's on its 6th season. Flash is on its 4th season.
yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about them bringing in like newer obscure characters that we haven't heard of, because we've seen what they can do, and they're pretty capable of bringing them to life, you know.
All right,
Yeah.
I think that's all we have to say about that. Now, there's a trailer released recently called Black Klansman. This movie looks interesting. A lot of people have high hopes for this. It's directed by Spike Lee.
I think it looks good.
It
Looks good.
also involves Jordan Peele, and for those of you that don't know who he is, he's a comedian with in the show Key and Peele, as well as he directed Get Out. So I'm super excited because I love the Get Out movie, and I'm really looking forward to see what he can do in another movie that has a different vibe to it.
So you want to just real quick explain like the gist of this movie?
I believe
So-
it's in the 70s. It's possibly the 80s, but I think it's in the 70s. In a small town, a black man is the first black officer in the police force there. And one of the first things he does is, when he gets to his desk, is he calls a local leader of the KKK. And he basically fakes that he is this white man that hates all minorities, and he goes undercover with his friend who's white, and the friend who's white basically is the one who's meeting up with the KKK members.
Played by Adam Driver.
Yes.
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah. So his friend is the one who meets up with the KKK members, and then while he's the one undercover on the phone, and it's about them trying to prevent this local force of KKK from some attack. I think they're planning some militaristic attack. So yeah, looks interesting. I think there's some themes that they're probably going to be running through the movie, and we'll see how that goes.
I think I'm hoping the movie doesn't take itself too seriously.
It definitely looks like it has a
yeah.
comedic vibe, but at the same time, it's a serious topic, so
Yeah.
there probably will be some serious points.
But I'm looking forward to it.
I think it looks good. I like the aspect.
Yeah. I
Alright.
think I remember seeing something about Spike Lee saying that it's going to be some sort of representation of racism in America, even for today. Although it does take place a few decades ago, I think there's probably going to be some references to maybe the origin of why certain events happen today. So we'll see about that. Okay, so I think now we're going to move into our Deadpool 2 discussion. We're going to do a non-spoiler review, and then we'll tell you when we're moving into our spoiler review.
All right, so Sam, what did you think the story was?
Well, I don't know, because I didn't see the movie.
Based on trailers and stuff, if you had to guess.
There's a kid, right?
Yeah.
And Cable's
Yes.
after the kid.
Yes.
And Deadpool's like, no, you can't have the kid. And then
Yes.
fighting ensues.
Yes.
But then at the end, somehow Cable becomes their friend.
Yes. Well, no.
That's
Oh,
the gist of it.
Well, yeah, that's what I just
That's
guessed.
pretty much exactly it.
Remember, no spoilers.
Yeah. So, I don't know about you guys, but I had fun at this one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the main thing I was thinking when I was watching the movie is this is just fun. Like, I didn't think it was an amazing movie, but it's just fun.
Yeah. The last time I walked out of a Marvel movie, it was Infinity War, and I was quite emotional.
I'm glad
There's a lot of-
nobody disappeared in this movie.
That would actually have been a funny joke. if Deadpool started disappearing.
And
into
they
dust
don't,
at the
they
end
don't
of it.
mention it.
Cable, I don't
Um,
feel so good.
Something I would say about the movie is that almost every line seemed to be a comedic line. Most of the time, there were a few serious scenes, but a lot of it was comedy, and it was sometimes hard to keep up. There were a lot of pop culture references, so unless you know a lot about pop culture, you might want to, I don't know, watch a few Marvel movies, some other classics. There's a lot of references. I would say a third of the jokes were either jokes about racism, sex, and pop culture references. So that was pretty interesting.
There was
And they were
also-
funny too.
The movie was very bold. They tried to take your expectations and just throw them out the window.
Thoroughly subverted.
Yeah.
I also feel it has a bit more story-wise than the first Deadpool.
It definitely did.
Because the
Definitely.
first Deadpool kind of had to be like cut and paste because they had to play it safe. They didn't know it would be this massive success.
Mhm.
But in this one, they're able to do some really interesting things, and I feel give Deadpool some actual character development.
Yeah, they
which
did.
is really nice to see.
Yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds gives a fantastic performance again.
He
Yeah,
does.
they make sure that he's not just this fourth wall character that is just funny.
Right.
He's more than that.
He has some genuine emotional moments.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't think in the comics isn't Deadpool supposed to be like much uglier? Like I know in
Probably.
like in the comics.
I mean, they don't show his face as much in the comics because it's just easier to draw the mask.
Right.
But in the movie, the mask involves some CGI to show the expressions in his face. So you notice like that they do this for Spider-Man too. They try to keep his mask off as much as possible because it makes it easier for acting. Also, for the actor to show the expressions, it's easier to just have the mask off.
In this one, like he just looks like a kind of lumpy bald guy.
Looks like a raisin.
This one, he looked. I feel like in the first movie he looked uglier. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but like this one, he looked a little more like easier to look at.
Yeah. Like not horribly. He's in the comics. He's supposed to be this horribly grotesque thing.
Yeah.
But in here, I don't know. Maybe it's just Ryan Reynolds, but he just looks like
Yeah.
a lumpy bald guy.
Yeah, we're looking at
Yeah.
a picture right
Sam
now.
just gave it a googs.
I mean,
Ugh.
considering that he has to be like he makes out with his girlfriend in the movie, it would be kind of like I know it's it's kind of offensive, but still like to be watching someone whose like face is all like mangled,
Zombified.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say, Jalen?
Making out with his girlfriend, and some people be like, ugh, but instead it's, I mean, for the general public, you gotta make it aesthetically pleasing. So
He's not horrible to look at. That's what we're saying.
yeah.
Also, Josh Brolin as Cable, phenomenal performance.
Yet again, Josh Brolin steals the show.
He is total badass in almost every scene he's in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he was one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, I really enjoyed some of like the technology he used. That was pretty fun to watch. And yeah, his character was good. His character was not what I expected, to be honest. And we'll talk about that.
I would say
in
Domino.
the spoiler discussion.
Domino, another standout.
Oh yeah, I loved Domino. She was awesome. She was really cool.
Alright, so, fun movie, great jokes.
Oh, I want to mention something real quick. Probably the best end credit scene I've ever seen. So
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
make
that
sure you
was
stay for
awesome.
that and watch that, and
Awesome.
even stay past it because the music was great in the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spread expectations. I would, but it is also horribly inappropriate. Like, don't take a kid to this. Like, there's a lot of profanity.
But as Deadpool says in the beginning, this is a family movie.
In many ways it is. Alright, do you guys want to move into spoilers?
All right.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
Spoiler.
spoiler, please.
They killed his girlfriend.
Yes, okay.
Oh no.
But did they? Did they?
I
'Cause
didn't
remember
see the movie, Jeffrey.
They did. They killed in like the beginning of the movie. His girlfriend dies.
Yeah. And that becomes his, like, driving force.
He also
to
tries to
develop the
kill
character.
himself several times and almost reaches heaven, and then reaches heaven but gets sent back. So
Yeah. Also, the movie opens on a spoiler for Logan. He's got like a little wind-up toy.
Oh, yeah.
A Wolverine figure impaled on a tree.
should we talk about some of our favorite jokes?
Yeah.
My most favorite joke was at the end. There was a running joke in the movie that Cable was a racist because he shot. What was the ethnicity
Okay, so
of the guy?
and this is a.
Oh, it was like Black Evan or something.
No,
Yeah,
it's-
his name
so
was,
this
like,
is an
Black
actual.
Evan.
It's an actual character from the comics. It's this character called Black Tom Cassidy, but he's an
Oh.
Irish guy,
Okay.
and so that's
And
the joke.
and yeah, Cable kills him, and Deadpool goes, "Oh my God, you killed
You
killed Black-
racist."
you racist, you killed Black Tom." And at the end of the movie,
And it's like some of his final words.
and
Right before
Deadpool
Deadpool's
is
about
like,
to die.
In Cable,
yeah,
I want you to learn to not judge people by the color of their skin,
but
but
by the content of their character, and it was so funny.
There's also a joke I think you would like, Sam, about Star Wars incest.
Oh,
I forget the details. I just
It was
remember
some-
them referencing Luke and Leia, and apparently Leia getting pregnant, but that never happened. so.
Also, a ton of jokes to the MCU movies.
Oh yeah, there's the
Yeah.
one about Hulk where he's, Juggernaut made an appearance in the movie, which was surprising, and Deadpool's fighting with Juggernaut, and then says,
Hey,
"Son."
big guy, sun's getting real low.
Yeah.
Which was the trigger word in Age of Ultron to turn the Hulk back into Bruce Banner.
Mhm.
And in Thor Ragnarok, he tries it with the Hulk. So
I thought one of the funniest sex jokes I think there was. It's not even really sex, but when Deadpool said that he would come in a soap dispenser, and
Yeah.
then I think in the X-Men mansion, and then Colossus just like looks at his hands in horror.
so yeah, and that's a callback to the first movie. Like,
Oh, it was?
Yeah, in the first movie, it's at the end. Deadpool's found Francis and he's about to kill him. Colossus is like, Wade, 4 or 5 moments is all it takes to be hero. People think you must wake up, hero, brush teeth, hero, but no, it is only 4 or 5 moments. And then Deadpool shoots him. But so in this movie, like Deadpool has like the chance to be like a hero, and so he repeats the speech, but he says, "Ejaculate into a soap dispenser, a hero."
Oh my God.
There was another running joke. This one was probably I think the two weakest jokes were the one joke about him being an X-Men trainee. That was just kind of stupid, and then
That didn't always land for me.
yeah, and then the one about dubstep where he kept like is dubstep. He asked Cable, "Does dubstep exist in the future?" And Cable says that dubstep's stupid or something, and then they
insert
play
insert
lyrics.
bangarang
It was,
here.
it was so forced and just was not funny.
Also, when Cable turns up, he like breaks into his prison. He tries shooting at Deadpool and stuff, and he goes, "What did I do to piss off a grumpy old man with a Winter Soldier arm?"
Oh
that
yeah,
was good. Yeah.
I liked when he was in the cell and he was like with this collar on. I'm just cancer is my only superpower, and he's like, if you give me a bow, I might as well be Hawkeye. It was great.
Oh.
There was a lot of Marvel
Also,
references and DC references.
At the end, Dopinder, the cab driver,
Oh,
ends
yeah.
up killing like one of the antagonists.
Yeah, that was funny.
And Joe, you remember what we
Dopinder
called
was
him?
great in this movie.
I do not remember what was it.
So another running joke throughout the movie is that Dopinder wants to become a contract killer,
Yeah.
Oh.
and so at the end, Deadpool's like, "Way to go, Brown Panther."
Oh yeah, Brown Panther.
So again, some of these jokes maybe a little bit on the racist side. but-
Something that I also thought was great was Deadpool was walking around the X-Men mansion, and he's like, "Why is it that the only people that are here are Colossus, now Yu-Gi-Oh, and
Negasonic Teenage.
yeah, and
Warrior.
Megasonic Teenage."
You
Like,
think the studio would throw us a bone, and we see the camera pans behind him, and we see Beast in a room with
all of the X-Men,
I
the
saw
main X-Men.
Cyclops, Quicksilver, and Beast just closes the door.
Yeah,
So it's like-
it was like pretty much the cast of the X-Men movie it's gonna be
Yeah.
released, right? I think so.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, it was like that cast. It was hilarious.
Also, he keeps calling for Pigeon Wings, which is Angel in the X-Men.
Yeah.
That was
And
good.
we've joked about before how Angel's a useless character in X-Men Apocalypse. So yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very like the movie was all over the place. You think that the X-Forces they hyped that up in the marketing. The X-Force, almost all the X-Force except
They
for Domino
immediately
literally die the moment they jump out of the airplane.
And Peter.
What I-
He saves Peter at the end.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll talk about that
in
in a
credit.
second. Yeah.
But what I like is they foreshadow that. Like when Cable's interrogating TJ Miller, TJ Miller's like, "Be careful, there's a wind advisory."
Oh, T.J. Miller was also hilarious. I want to talk about that after you're done.
And then when they're in the helicopter, someone points out to Deadpool like, "Hey, should we be careful? There's like a wind advisory." He's like, "We don't care about the wind advisory." And they're all hyped up and they jump out of the helicopter. So Shatterstar gets disemboweled in a helicopter.
Who's the Venom guy? What's his
He's like,
name?
he's like one of those like things for wood that like grinds up wood. Or
Zeitgeist
something.
lands in
He
a
fall-
wood
He
chipper.
falls in a wood chipper.
And when poor Peter, he's like trying to get
my-
him out, and he's like, "You gotta be okay. We're X-Force, right?" He's like, "Yeah." Ugh.
Yeah,
And
he throws
spits
up
the
his-
venom.
He throws up venom on
Acidic
Peter,
venom.
and it
And-
just melts him. It just
He
melts
melts
him.
Peter. Terry Crews hits a bus.
Power!
I like that you can see at one point they're trying to give CPR to Bedlam.
Oh yeah,
Also, Vanisher hits power lines.
yeah.
Oh,
And it's
then
revealed
he falls
that-
on the ground and he's on set on fire.
So Vanisher, that's another running joke. There's Vanisher. We just see like a parachute floating about. Turns out it's a Brad Pitt cameo.
Yeah.
He hits.
Oh
the,
yeah,
He hits the power line. Deadpool's talking to Domino over the comms like, except for you, me, and Vanisher, everyone else is dead. And we see Vanisher's like body just on fire drop. And he's like, it's just you and me.
T.J. Miller had a great scene with Cable. Cable kidnaps him and is holding him hostage. And he talks about how he's going to interrogate him by torturing him. And then what's T.J. Miller's character's name? Do you know?
Weasel.
Weasel, yeah. And he said something about like interrogation making him hard or something. And then he has an erection at the moment, and then Cable looks at him. He's like, "Oh God, please don't! It's making it worse." And he's like, "I'll tell you everything," and he basically gives away everything that happened to the X-Force, where they're gonna be, where they're located, all that.
Yeah. There's also me and Joey. We were right about the Juggernaut.
Oh yeah.
Like, we had talked about this
Yeah.
the other day that there were rumors based on stuff you see in the trailer, and turns out the Juggernaut does make an appearance in this movie, full CGI as he should be, voiced by Ryan Reynolds, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
And so he gets out of this convoy, and Deadpool's fanboying over him, like, and he calls out comics issues, which all feature an appearance from the Juggernaut.
And then
He rips him in half, which I immediately thought of. There's a famous comic panel where the Hulk rips Wolverine in half. So, which,
yeah,
which
that was
leads-
probably the goriest part of the movie when he gets ripped in half.
It's
and they
not
showed
even fast. It's just slow.
Yeah, and they
he
showed
pulls him
everything.
apart
It was
like one
terrible. You
cheese.
see his like intestines falling. It's gross.
And then Deadpool regrows new legs.
And their
Oh.
baby's legs.
And they keep making jokes about his like baby penis.
At one point, he has to get up. He has to get up to like shake Cable's hand because they're forming a truce.
And Dopinder, as he's watching it, when he sees the legs, he's like trying not to throw up. And he's like holding it.
He's like happy, but he's like he's like holding back vomit.
Gosh.
Also,
That's
I think
great.
one of the more underappreciated jokes is Cable has like this tactical utility bag that they joke is a fanny pack. And so at one point he goes to get something out. He's like, let me just get it out of my utility bag. And TJ Miller points a gun at him and says, it's a goddamn fanny pack and you know it, you son of a bitch.
And right after that, like, this is what I'm saying, the comedy just keeps going. Right after that line, Cable he pulls out chapstick, and while he's applying chapstick to his lips, he looks at Deadpool and he says, you know, you remind me a lot of my wife. And Deadpool says, why would you look me straight in the eye with heavy eye contact, apply chapstick, and tell me that I remind you of your wife?
Dead wife.
Dead wife.
So yeah, we should probably get into Cable's motivation.
Yeah.
So he's from the future, a very Terminator-esque future, if I might say. And so he's going back in time to kill this kid, Russell, before he becomes like a supervillain.
Or Fire Fist, however many
Fire
calls.
Fist.
They didn't like his name Russell. That's great.
But he's played by the kid from Hunt for the Wilder People, and he is New Zealand. He's from New Zealand. He's not
New Zealand.
He is the embodiment of New Zealand.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say that exactly. No offense to all of our New Zealand viewer or listeners out there,
You guys are
if
great.
there are any. But
You guys are great.
there was a funny joke, a funny long-running joke. With
that's kind of mean.
with what's his name again? Russell. Yeah. They get at one point Deadpool and Russell are put in a prison with other mutants, and so Russell decides to pull a pen out of his ass.
And he calls it the prison wallet.
And yeah, and he decides to try and stab some guy with
And,
it.
and Deadpool's like, I hope I don't know what you're talking about.
That was funny. And that pen joke was running for a lot of the movie when Deadpool is prepping the X-Force for their first mission. He says, "And watch out for his pen." So
I
that was
remember
great.
at the end, Russell. I don't remember who Russell stabbed with the pen, but I think it was Deadpool, and he was fighting. He was like, no, don't stay. It was great.
Yeah. So, back to kind of Deadpool's arc. The whole thing is his girlfriend's dead. He's trying to get some sort of redemption so that his heart's in the right place. Because he almost dies, goes to like a heaven-esque place, and his girlfriend says, you can't be here, your heart's not in the right place. So he's trying to do that by saving this kid. At first his motivation is just save the kid so I can get into heaven. But throughout the movie you see him like actually grow to care for this kid.
Yeah.
And Cable's trying to kill this kid
because of what he does in the future.
in the future. So like the whole thing, Russell's whole backstory is that he's a mutant. He was at this orphanage where he was abused by this like pedophile religious guy, the headmaster.
Yeah.
And so once he escapes, he's like, I'm gonna kill the headmaster. And Cable's like, that was his first kill. Afterwards, he got a taste for it. And he kept killing until he killed my wife and daughter. And that's why I'm here. So yeah.
I think speaking of pedophiles, one of my favorite.
Oh, speaking of pedophile, okay.
Speaking of pedophiles, one of my favorite jokes from the movie is Deadpool is just zipping around the X-Men mansion in Charles Xavier's what's it called, wheelchair, his like special wheelchair, and he's like, wow, I've got a lot of old white men on the walls. If I'd known that, I would have brought my rape whistle.
I like at the end when the headmaster pedophile was running away, and Deadpool looks at him and he's like, oh, son of a bitch even runs like a pedophile.
I really like how at the end he's like trying to make one last like thing like, you mutants will burn in hell and stuff, and Cable like pulls out a knife, let's see, and he's like, let's see what the inside of a pedophile looks like. And Deadpool's like, no, we have to be better for it. We have to be better. Besides, Karma will take care of this. And immediately Dopinder runs him over with his cab. And Deadpool goes, I heard you coming for like the last 30 seconds. I didn't think I could keep a straight face.
What was the line that Dopinder had? He said he was like trying to prove something like courage of something, like heart of courage or something.
Oh
like
no,
that.
so it's back when Deadpool and Weasel are talking about forming X-Force. And Dopinder's like, I want to join.
Oh yeah,
and-
what's his superpower?
Courage.
Yeah, they're like, that's cute, but no.
And then they hire Peter.
Yeah,
and he's like,
that was great.
And Peter's like, oh, I don't have any powers. I just saw the ad, and he gets so
And
mad.
Peter dies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. But as they're on the helicopter prepping for the mission, we see Peter put on some sunscreen. And I'm like, I don't know about this Cable guy, but I bet he hasn't killed as many people as Melanoma as he's applying the sunscreen. So that was a pretty good one.
And then I love how when Peter gets hired, Peter goes like, what's your powers? And Peter's like, oh, nothing. And then he's like, I don't have any powers. And then they're like, all right, you're in. And Dopinder happens to walk in the room and he hears that.
He
and he
throws
throws
down
down
a
a
mop.
box and he goes, fuck!
It's great.
Also, another point, there's one of the other members of X-Force, Shatterstar's like, I'm an alien from Mojo World, which is a thing in the comics. And he's like, I'm basically better than you at everything. And Deadpool's like, man, one day I'm going to find a primitive planet where I'll be their Superman. I'll be better than everyone at everything. And TJ Miller's character goes, isn't that Canada? He goes, you shut your mouth. Because Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool are both Canadian.
Yeah.
Speaking of Canadians, there was an Easter egg on top of Dopinder's cab. It was an advertisement for Alpha Flight, which is a superhero team in the comics. They're Canadian. Some of their more famous members include Guardian, North Star, Puck, and Sasquatch.
Huh.
I've never heard any of them.
I remember, Joey, you also realized Juggernaut apparently in one of the scenes crawls out of the pool.
Oh, yeah.
We thought he was being like, he gets a electrical cord shoved
up
up
the
his
bum.
ass, yeah, and then he's pushed into the water and electrocuted continuously. So we don't really know what happened to him, whether he died or not. But Joey says he saw him crawling out of the pool in the background.
Yeah, at the end of the film when they were all walking away and Deadpool was talking to them, you saw Juggernaut's head come out of the pool, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I noticed that. Nobody else did.
It was pretty cool to see Deadpool versus Colossus, or sorry, Colossus versus
Yeah.
Juggernaut. Which
Yeah, I
is a
thought
pretty,
that was interesting as
It's
well.
a pretty famous comic book matchup. They're rivals and stuff.
I'm not surprised that Colossus had the edge because Juggernaut's really strong, but he's still made of tissue and muscle and all that, and Colossus is metal. So.
I like how instead of getting bruised, Colossus gets dented.
Yeah.
Like he has a dent in his forehead and stuff. So.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the movie was good. I think I would probably rate it around maybe a 7.5, maybe an 8. I feel like there were some parts where it's just like they were trying to like subvert your expectations, and it just felt a little long and prolonged. But it was. I loved the movie. I thought it was fun. It had more story than the previous one, so that was good.
I think Deadpool's death scene almost went on for too long.
Yeah, I was feeling that too.
If they had done another fake out, that would have been too much.
Deadpool dies.
Well,
sort of.
He does, but
Well,
then
it's
he
to
comes
show
back,
he
yeah.
sacrifices himself to show Russell that
Wait.
there is good in the world and
But
stuff like
he's
that.
like immortal.
So he
Oh.
puts on a power restricting collar,
So
and
he
then he
can't
jumps
heal,
in front
yeah.
of a bullet for Russell and stuff. So he's dying, and
Okay.
he's like, "Oh, there it is! I see the bright light. There we go. Oh wait, that's the sun."
And that goes
Don't
on for
stare at the
so
sun.
long. It goes so long. He has so many final words to
Yeah.
everyone. A subtle thing. I don't know why this is so funny, but the new character Yu-Gi-Oh! Every time Deadpool said hi to her, he just
Hi Wade.
yeah, hi Wade. Hey Yu-Gi-Oh! And he like made this like weird like motion with his like sparkling motion with his hands.
It actually looks like an animator.
Yeah,
It's so good.
Do we want to talk about the end credit scene?
Yes, let's do.
Oh, I've
Best
heard about these.
end
Neil told me
credit
about
scene.
these.
So it involves Deadpool getting a hold of Cable's time travel machine, which is like a little watch thing. And so he goes back, he saves his girlfriend, and as this whole sequence is playing, like, If I Could Turn Back Time is playing, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, and then he saves Peter only from the X-Force. He's like,
He's just
like,
like,
Peter, he's
walk
like,
away.
Just walk away, man.
away,
Just
Peter."
walk away.
He's
It's like, what if-
but we're X-Force.
No, there's no X-Force.
There's
Just
no
walk away.
X-Force.
I like how
So-
I like how he only saves Peter. That like really that was like awesome.
He also shows up to Deadpool in the X-Men Origins Wolverine and he shoots him repeatedly.
Yeah.
he shoots him, and then Wolverine's like, wait, why? And then he's like, I'm just fixing the timeline. As he's saying that,
He's like,
boom,
unloading.
boom, 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 shooting several
then-
bullets into the limp body of the old Deadpool.
And then it cuts to like actor Ryan Reynolds sitting at his house, like reading over a script, and it's like, "You've made a kid. Welcome to the big leagues." And we see the cover of the script. It's Green Lantern, and, then we just see blood splatter on it.
Oh, that was great.
I read that apparently they were also considering trying to add a cameo from Chris Evans' Human Torch in there.
Oh, that would have been great. That would have been great. I was hoping
cool.
they would make some reference towards. I mean, it was kind of late for them to do this, but the studios being now owned by Disney, I kind of was looking forward to that. But I think they had already recorded the movie.
I am amazed at the maturity of the filmmakers that at no point is the film subtitled Deadpool: The Second Coming. Also, so a famous line from Juggernaut didn't make an appearance.
Yeah, I know.
This was a meme. Then they put it in X-Men's The Last Stand, which is just awful. It's like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. And I'm amazed that they didn't use that in Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, they had so many lines. It's kind of hard to force some of the stuff in.
At one point during their fight, doesn't Juggernaut call Colossus a commie?
Yeah, he does.
Like, you commie bastard. Something like
Oh, yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think, what else?
I mean, I don't have anything else specifically to say about the movie.
Neither do I. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I would
it was
also
fun.
rate it a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
I
the
think
action was nice.
better than the first, I would say.
Better
Yeah.
than, yeah, I'd say it's better.
I like the story of Deadpool in the first one, but like this one kept up with the action.
This one's just bold, crazy, all over the place. It's
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah. So looking forward, there is going to be an X-Force movie.
Oh, there is.
So it looks like
Will Disney create this? Question mark.
I don't know, but so it looks like based on what we see from the end of the Sam, you know we're filming.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sam is attempting
Oh.
to eat some of our equipment
Sam
right
was
now.
Sam was just doing something weird with his microphone stand, but you'll have to watch the video to see that. So anyway, so we're not recording.
Well, we had technical issues. Well,
This is just sorry, guys.
Well, you don't get to see what I was doing. Oh well.
Okay. But so anyway, so based on what we see from the end of the film, it looks like X-Force may include Colossus, Domino, Deadpool, Cable, Dopinder, and Firefist.
what a great X-Force.
Yeah.
Wait, so is we're not gonna have Peter in there?
No.
Oh, we gotta have Peter.
Peter might die if he came back. Dopinder's the better version of Peter. The Brown Panther. All right, I think
So
that's it.
yeah. So
We hope you enjoyed our episode.
Yeah,
And
make
make
sure
sure-
to follow us on Twitter. Go to our website at 7studioav.weebly.com. Subscribe to our mailing list on the website. Follow us on our Instagram, 7studioav. And we have a new patron set up, so make sure... Patreon, sorry. If you guys
Become a patron.
want to donate money so we can get better mics that Sam could put his mouth on, we could always do that.
Or an email.
Or an email. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you in 7.
See
See you in 7, guys.
See you in 7.